Hi everyone, and welcome to this episode of Peace Talks. This is a series where we catch up with the bands and artists that are coming to play for us at the Marr Bar in Worcester. And today I'm joined by Tom Farmer and Shane Forbes of Empirical. Empirical will be coming up to play for us on the 8th of March. 8th of May, I should say. So yeah, hi Shane and Tom. Thanks for joining us today.
Hey, you are.
Hey, no problem, man.
So a wonderful sunny day. Let's hope the weather continues into next week as well. So let's jump in and talk about Empirical, a band that's been going almost 20 years now, isn't it? It's yeah. So kind of where did, because the first album came out in 2007. We'll talk about that in a little, but yeah, kind of how did the band come together in the first place?
Well, myself, Nathaniel Facey, and Jay Phelps, the trumpet player, Neil Charles, the bass player. That was the lineup of the first ever Empirical, and we started playing together in a band, an organization called Tomorrow's Warriors,
Yeah.
and that's where we met. And then when we finished doing that, we started Empirical. Right. Yes. And then so we just started doing gigs and playing together, and then things changed and people went on to do other things. And then that's when Tom Farmer joined the band, and I think late 2007 maybe, or
Yeah,
2008.
2007 I started playing.
Yeah. And
So Tom, were you on that? Were you on that first album? The first album, I think that was
no,
Neil.
that was Neil Charles.
Yeah.
Neil Charles, yeah. And Kit Downs was on piano as well. And then we changed lineup, and Tom joined the band, and then Lewis White joined the band. And that's
that
when
was
we
2008. Yeah, Lewis joined in 2008.
Yeah.
So that was the Vibes replacing the piano, and I'm really pleased. This is the first time we've actually managed to get a band with Vibes on the stage. Well, I'm not sure on the stage of the Marr Bar in the entire 22 years that the Marr Bar's been running, but 25 years now, I think. But they might have had Vibes on there before, but certainly the first time in 3 years of music spoken here. So I'm excited to get that going. Yeah. So the first album, which was entitled Empirical, that was 2007. So that was just after, was that the same year, about a year after or within the year of the band forming? Or was it quite?
That was with it, yeah. We recorded that record like quite soon after we finished playing Tomorrow's Warriors. Yeah.
And
so
that was released
all the same year.
That was released on Courtney Pine's Destiny album label, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one.
So also, well, of the Jazz Warriors that Tomorrow's Warriors came out of. I saw. I was at the Brick Lane Jazz Festival at the weekend actually, and I saw the first performance of Gary Crosby's new Africa Space Program on Sunday. That was pretty awesome with Steve Williamson on sax.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Not seen him since '90 when he was touring. I was living in Watford at the time, and he was down in St Albans. He played St Albans when he did the Waltz for Grace album, and then he kind of disappeared from the scene. I didn't actually realise he was on the billing until I sort of said I was in the queue. Yeah, so that was sorry, a little digress there. So yeah, Empirical, the album, 2007. Courtney described it at the time as the most exciting jazz to come out of the UK. That's a thing to live up to, isn't it?
We're kind of him. He's a very exciting jazz musician himself. Always has been.
Yeah, he played at Cheltenham last year. Actually, I think that was one of the gigs that I did go along to last year, and that was I think it was his birthday around that week as well. So I really enjoyed that. It was a fun gig. You had a lot of fun with it. But yeah, the album there also got you a couple of awards. I think you got the Jazzwise Album of the Year award and also the Mojo Jazz Album of the Year. So that's a great start. I mean, first album comes out, you got your 2 awards and lots of
The Mobo Award was for the next record, which we had with Tom, which Tom was on and Lewis
right,
was
okay.
on. That was when we did the Eric Dolphy kind of inspired album. Out
Right,
and In.
okay. Was that the Out and Out album? Was it
Out and In.
Out and
Out and In?
Out
Sorry.
and In. It was
Out
called,
and In. Okay, cool. So what's with the sort of change from the band, you know, changing the lineup and such like that after the first album? Is it, what would you say kind of defines the identity of Empirical and kind of what you wanted to take forward, where it was going?
And that's a good question. I mean, at the time I remember when we met Lewis, right? And I think we were doing a gig. I think it was a Spice of Life or something. That's where I
Oh,
met
right.
him. And we were like, "Oh, this young guy playing some incredible vibraphone. We should do some playing with him." And then this opportunity came through Courtney again, actually, to support him, wasn't it, at the Barbican?
Yeah.
So obviously like a big gig. So we're like, okay, let's do it, play it with Lewis, and we started studying the music of Eric Dolphy around that time, and we're just really into the sound of it, I think.
I
So
think
we're
the
like,
gig
okay,
was I think it was at the Barbican. I think it was it Eric Dolphy's birthday or something?
it was
The
something
the
like that.
the the yeah, it was something to do with Eric Dolphy they were celebrating something of Eric Dolphy.
We had a
So there
reason
was
to
a
play it,
theme
yeah.
to
Right,
the
okay.
Barbican. Yeah, we had a reason to play this music.
And
Is
just
that
really enjoyed it. So
Yeah.
is that the video on YouTube? I saw there's one that was recorded at the Elgin Room in. No, maybe I'm confusing it. Sorry.
no, that's a different one.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
we did bootleg that Barbican gig. I've got it
Okay.
somewhere on the computer, and it's yeah, it's great. We had a real connection immediately between us, and obviously we've been playing quite a lot already, but we had this connection with Lewis. So yeah, that was the kind of start of it, 2008, of this sound that we've been exploring ever since. And then we're just bringing in different aspects to it, you know. But yeah, that kind of transparency we liked at the time, or I certainly did. And yeah, just get, you know, to have a band, you got to kind of get along as well. So
Yeah, that helps.
enjoying each other's company and being super into music. That's what I always remember about those years. Like just like checking out so much music and, you know, sending things, sharing things with each other. And yeah, just a real good kind of community spirit, really.
Excellent. And something I'm sure most people who've seen you perform before and or seen any of your promo shots, you're always very sharply dressed. It's always suited and booted on the stage. There is did that come from somewhere? Is that something that you kind of deliberately maintained, or?
Well, yeah, I mean, we all the bands throughout the history of jazz music were always kind of sharply dressed. And when we was much younger and starting out in the band, um, we were really inspired by that. We was really inspired by everything we was in awe of all the past jazz musicians, the heroes of jazz, how they played, how they spoke, what they spoke about, the way they lived their lives philosophically and spiritually, and how they dressed. Was like there was everything about them that we liked. So we just kind of we wanted to emulate that. We had this understanding that presenting the music with care is just as important as playing the music with care. So
Right.
we really honed into that from early days, and it's just something we've kind of stuck with. Nowadays, I kind of forget my tie quite often, and I I forget my shoes, and I've done gigs in a suit and trainers and stuff. So it kind of falling off a little bit sometimes. But no, generally we like to keep that. We like to stay smartly dressed. And if you see Nathaniel, he's smartly dressed all the time. You know,
Yeah.
he's a smart cat.
But yeah, it's also a bit of like, I don't know, respect and stuff. You know, respect for the music and respect
Yeah.
for the audience, and you know, you want to be taken seriously when you're trying to play serious stuff. You know? So that was a lot of the reason why we kept it. You know.
Cool. Yeah, good stuff. So there's three albums, I think, then sort of a couple of years between on the name label. So Out and In, that's 2009, Elements of Truth in 2011, and then Tabula Rasa in 2013. Was that a three album deal, was it?
No, it wasn't. It was album by album. But yeah, I mean, I look back at that time now and think how privileged we were to be working with a label like that. Those kind of deals, I don't know, they don't come to, well, certainly not to us making weird music. You know, to have that support because they had a bit of budget, especially around Out and In. You know,
Right.
you know, we went to Pinewood Studios. There was a good bit of PR around it and stuff, and we ended up winning this MOBO as well from that record. And it's it was good. I really enjoyed making those three.
Excellent.
But yeah, no, I think I'm not sure if Name is still doing stuff. I think they are actually. Yeah, and we worked with this guy called Simon Drake, who was really supportive of the band, and yeah, it was good. Good times.
And would you say was any kind of progression or sort of maturity in the band sort of over that period of time? How did the band develop and the music develop sort of across those three albums?
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what was good is that everything we studied together kind of translated to each album. So it's kind of just we were just building and building the concept in every project that we done. So yeah, we definitely developed throughout the course of those three albums a lot, you know.
Yeah. And also like what you learn about the process of making records and
Mm.
also what music works, like what our strengths are, what communicates well with audiences as well. Like yeah, and the actual recording as well, like how to make a good recording. But I oddly enough was listening back to something from Tabula Rasa this morning, and yeah, we've learned a lot since that. That's what I would say. But yeah, and also yeah, like Shane said with the studying thing, like obviously we studied quite deeply Eric Dolphy's music.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then we had this kind of slightly more Vijay Iyer kind of inspired, like metric, quite dense writing on elements,
Mm-hmm.
some of it at least. And then for Tabula Rasa, obviously we were working with strings, so we had some like string quartet studies, and we all, you know, got into that kind of classical world a bit. So yeah, they're like quite deep study projects as well as being expressive albums. So it's a real privilege.
Yeah, cool. I was doing an interview. We had Chris Bowden play for us a couple of weeks ago. I was doing an interview with him, and we were talking about like when that period of time when record companies would fund a string section, and he was recording with like a 17-piece thing on the Slightly Askew, I think it was. But
Yeah, I remember that record. I was into that. I wrote a piece about that actually.
oh,
Bowden
cool.
Out. Remember it, Shane? Bowden Out.
Yeah. It's on Out and In, isn't it?
Oh, cool. I have to give that.
Yeah.
I did give the album a listen more about, but yeah, I'll have to give that another
Yeah.
another. There you go. There's a connection there. So that was a fantastic gig. Last week it was.
Great.
He was playing stuff across the 4 albums that he's done.
Oh, good to hear he's still going. That's great.
Yeah,
Playing
yeah, he gets a lot. He
music.
gets a lot of gigs around here because he's up in Birmingham. So he gets a lot of gigs around here. But this is the first time I've seen him play, his own stuff. And he did a gig with the hit when the Hypnos Files came out in 22 in Birmingham. Yeah, he was doing stuff from Slightly Askew. I think he might have done one from Time Capsule. Yeah, it's a cool gig. Yeah, so those you had those 3 albums there on Name, and then Connection came out on Cuneiform in 2016. And then there's a bit of an 8-year gap sort of between that and the last year's Wonder is the Beginning that came out featuring. That was Jason Rebello and Alex Hitchcock, both of whom have dropped on the Mars Bar stage. Actually, Jason Rebello literally dropped on the Mars Bar stage because he fell off his stool at the end of a piano. I noticed at the edge of the stage there's a corner cut out where you go up the steps, and his stool was right near that. And as he kind of moved his stool at the end of this piano, but he didn't. The no injuries were sustained, and he carried on playing. So,
so we done Connection, but we done 2 EPs before Wonder was the Beginning. We released 2. We did a recording session and recorded loads of music, which was 2 EPs, which was Distraction Tactics.
Okay, yep.
And what's the name of the other one?
Indifference Culture.
Indifference Culture. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of self-released EPs. That's what we were doing to kind of keep our creative juices flowing, if you like, and to make music still. And then we also did like Lambs as well, which is another EP, which was all Shane's music. Again, self-released kind of small run. And that was all, COVID and stuff was in the way of that as well. So, yeah. So we were kind of like ticking over, shall we say. Yeah. So this has been our first proper release on the label and, full album production.
Because, of course, you're all busy in other projects as well. And Shane, we'll come on to, because the band that's come out, unfortunately, Shane, you're otherwise taken on Thursday for Thursday's gig, as is the case. No, this is all cool. We've you're working musicians. You got to go where what pays the bills.
Yeah.
Do you want to just share what you're working on at the moment?
So I'm currently in Manchester for the next 3 weeks on a production called Hamlet: Hail to the Thief, which is Shakespeare's Hamlet play, played to the music of Radiohead, the Hail to the Thief album. So all the music from that album. So currently, having Tom York supervise the music, and playing with a great band there. So we'll be there at Aviva Studios, Factory International, and then it moves on to the RSC in June. So yeah.
Great. Fantastic. So this is a tour that the gig at the Mars Bar is a part of the tour for the album release. So it was back end of last year that came out, wasn't it? Was it?
Yeah. I mean, the official release was March last year.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so like the tour takes a while to kind of get together.
Yeah, I was back and forth with Claudia because we were trying to get dates working and such like that, and then there was another.
Yeah, well, we're very again fortunate to have a tireless manager in Claudia to put all these dates together, and and we had a little bit of help from ACE, Arts Council in England, just to make it all kind of work roughly. So yeah, we've had quite a few dates, kind of sporadically over the last 6 months or so. but also what we've been using this tour is to develop new music, obviously. And so we've been working with Ivo Neem and Dave
Yeah.
Preston, who are long-term friends and collaborators. And we basically re-recorded one of those EPs that we did, like
Okay.
Lambs, but reimagined for this larger group. And yeah, we're in the middle of mixing it at the moment, this new record. So it sounds amazing. So we've been using the tour dates to kind of develop some of those ideas, and yeah, it's been really fun.
Excellent. Yeah, and that lineup with Ivo and Dave, that was that played in Birmingham a couple of weeks ago, wasn't it? And
Yeah, we did
Yeah.
Wolverhampton as well. So we've managed to get that on some, but you know, it's a mixed bag because we all are juggling busy, full lives as musicians. You know, we'll do 100 different things. So,
indeed, no, that's
but
great.
it's, you know, it's nice to come back and play together.
Excellent. Yeah, and we're really looking forward to having you play
Mm.
Worcester. First time in Worcester?
Yeah, I think so.
There you go.
Um,
Another one for the charts.
I don't think I've ever been to Worcester. Maybe once. I
So,
grew up in Bristol, so maybe when I was younger.
okay. Yeah, well, we're slowly but surely getting putting Worcester on the UK jazz map.
Yeah.
Great.
Slow and steady
Great.
progress.
Good. We need more. We need more places on the jazz map
Yeah, those tours.
rather than falling off the jazz map.
It's a safe house between when you're coming up. If you're doing that kind of Bristol Bath up to the north, you can always
Sure.
swing by Worcester and give us a gig there. So yeah, let's talk about the gig on Thursday. And so who's in the band that's coming up, and what can we expect from the music wise?
Well, so we've got Johnny Mansfield on the vibraphone. He's been stepping in for Lewis. Lewis has moved to Nashville, Tennessee.
There you go.
Yeah, to pursue a career in country and Americana. So, so yeah, Johnny's been playing. He's brilliant. And then we've got this young drummer standing in for Shane. It's Luke McCarthy, and who's a bit of a phenomenon, really. We had a rehearsal play a couple of weeks ago, and I was quite astonished by his abilities. Yeah, so in terms of music, we'll be playing some from this new album, or newish album, and also we're taking the opportunity to play a couple of new pieces that I've written, and
Excellent.
some of Johnny's music we might have a go at, and also some from our back catalogue, which has been really nice. So yeah, I pulled out a few bangers
Brilliant.
from the old albums. So
Excellent.
yeah, it's going to be really fun, actually.
Good stuff. And you got some CDs or vinyl to bring up with you?
Yeah. I've got vinyls, CDs. I've got a briefcase full of our old records as well. So please, everyone buy
Fantastic.
them.
Yeah, vinyl seems to be doing quite well at the moment at the
Yeah.
Mars bar. Yeah, we got a few collectors and new collectors that are picking up stuff. So certainly bring those along. We'll try and get those shifted.
Great.
Yeah, really looking. Yeah, Luke's a new one on me. I've not seen him play before, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Fab.
Cool, something to look forward to there as well. So yeah, I'm really excited for the gig and to have you play for us at the Mars Bar. That's on Thursday, the 8th of May. And safe trip over. Thanks so much for joining us today and giving us your time. It's been great chatting with you. And
Thanks, Dave.
see you on Thursday. See you, Shane, next time I catch you playing wherever you're playing.
I'll be in Worcester for the next one.
Good man.
Nice one,
Take
Dave.
care, folks.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you.